give me just a sec, and we'll get started. Okay. Hi, and welcome to more, Ace Attorney Justice for All. I'm a bit late because I, kinda forgot that I needed to get food beforehand. But we're continuing Turnabout Big Top. Sweetie, you have to believe me. I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene.
So then, where were you when the murder took place?
We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Exactly. He told me to wait in the room because he would be right back.
That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right?
Sorry, my throat's a bit weird tonight. That's what it seems like.
But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right?
Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room, still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off.
Which means?
It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous! That's a fabulously possible possibility.
Well done, Nick.
However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? Give me just a sec. Sorry, I'd rather not violently cough into the microphone. If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double,
Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something.
Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up. Magician or president. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision.
That's really cool.
Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case.
Very well. I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Curls take the stand?
Why did you just call him a pitiful clown?
The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record.
Time to once again fall asleep during the clown case again. I thought that you fell asleep after we raided Sachi. Wow. What did that even say? It was a West Clown-a-feeling. Wow. Wow. I wasn't expecting a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reference.
Name and occupation.
Will the witness please inform the court why he's speaking autobiographical gibberish? Wait, what was my voice for Mo? It was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke best suited to this sort of occasion. What in the world are you talking about? You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court. Oh, yeah. Maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear my pants? Sign only says no shirt, no shoes, no service. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butts? How's that one? God damn it. Mo, you're not funny. But a couple of... wow. More Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Your name?
Lawrence Curls, professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown.
You witnessed the scene at around 10:15 p.m. on the day of the murder.
This is a court of justice, but Nick makes a clown of this room every day, so...
Correct.
Yes it is. Very well, Mr. Curls, will you please testify what you saw that evening? A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian... Was that... Did he finish the setup? Was that go into a bar? Walked into this plaza? I missed that. It scrolled by too fast in the stream. Without the humor, please. Okay.
Aw, poor Mo can't be his normal stoogey self in court.
I know. I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. So no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. Yeah, but this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try making everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? How am I doing? Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here?
Witness.
Huh?
We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick to the facts of this case.
Really? You'll really hear me out?
Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later.
Certainly isn't gonna be Phoenix, then. Thank you. I can't wait. Poor Gumshoe. I think there's an argument to be made that Gumshoe can't be the straight man either. Now that that's settled, actually, there's an argument there that can be made, but it's also an argument with an asterisk because, like, he has a crush on Maggie, so if anything, it would be him being bi, but we stand by Gumshoe. Now that's settled, shall we begin once again with the testimony? Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want. Night of the murder, after the practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought to go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. He's the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now. Don't mind me, I'm taking a screenshot of this. I need a reference picture that's in a higher definition of the reference picture I've been using. Because the reference picture that I've been working off for the drawing that I'm doing right now is this pose, but it's this pose from the original GBA version of the game, which is very crunchy.
Of course you can. There's no way that this account can be criticized.
However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him.
That must be because of my insincere smile.
Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Nick, you gotta find some kind of contradiction in his testimony.
I know that. Mr. Wright. Your Honor? I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would bring disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you are not going to engage in pointless saber-rattling.
Saber-rattling?
I understand, Your Honor.
If you cause this clown to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible.
Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes. All of that extra text to say, if you press Mo on the wrong statements here, you get penalized.
Night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. No idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. Thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window.
I think we want to hear more about this because he mentioned hearing a thump last, like when we talked to him before. You just happened to glance out of the window.
You could say that. You could also say I peeked, stared, glimpsed, peeped, eyeballed.
Mr. Curls?
Oh, I guess synonyms aren't allowed either.
What should I do? I wonder if I should press him further on this issue. Exactly why did you look out of your window that night?
Why? Why? Clowns don't need a reason to look out their windows, do they?
That's not what I meant. I meant that, well, when we spoke yesterday...
Once I had tucked myself into bed, I heard this amazing noise. It was incredibly loud. It sounded like a giant thump. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You forgot? Your Honor, the witness looked out of his window upon hearing a loud sound. He did not just simply glance out of his window that night.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that thump, didn't I?
That's not something you just forget to mention. Yeah, what she said. Sorry, give me a sec. I need water. Yeah, that's what she said. Or what she said. I believe it would be best if Mo were to revise his testimony. Very well. Mr. Curls, please revise your testimony. This should start turning the tables in our favor.
I heard a huge noise outside the window, and that's what made me look outside.
Don't mind me, I'm just making a safety save here just because I don't want to take unnecessary damage from... This whole pressing thing is really dumb. And it's one of the reasons that a lot of people really don't like this character. It's the same, like, thing as, you know how, Mike Meekins had the stupid videotape in Rise from the Ashes in the first game? It's that. It's the same reason that people hate him. What was the sound like?
Well, I guess it kind of sounded like, I guess you could say,
Mr. Curls, may the court remind you that humor is unnecessary.
Joe, how'd you know I was gonna make a joke? Guess that sounded like suppose it sounded like someone getting hit with something very hard. Yep, that's what it sounded like, honestly.
Someone getting hit, huh?
What then? You went to look out the window and you saw...
That's when I saw two silhouettes. They're a bit far away, though.
You say you saw the ringmaster get clunked over the head.
Yes, I did. It's the climax of my story.
Really does enjoy the completely random non sequitur. What would you say the victim was struck with?
You mean the weapon? I have no idea.
I don't know who you're talking about, Nautilus, so I'm just gonna say no preemptively, but I'm not entirely sure who you're talking about.
The weapon wasn't found at the murder scene, right?
It's not what I meant. You did say you did see everything, didn't you?
Well, yeah, I suppose I did. Wait, no I didn't. I didn't see a weapon.
Mo, did you or did you not see the crime of murder committed that night?
I will not permit you to harass my witness in this manner. You'd better have an excellent reason for attacking this poor, poor clown. Because if you don't, oh, you know what's waiting for you. A nice penalty.
Isn't this a bit melodramatic?
So what will it be then, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have any clear basis to believe that my witness did not see the crime?
Of course I do. Have all the characters shown up? No, not yet. We've still got a handful of characters. I've got a great reason to make my claim.
And I suppose you'll be telling us all that great reason.
Of course I will. The reason is the witness's very own testimony. What's the meaning of that, Mr. Wright? Honestly, like, I want there to be a game that's like this, that, has... One of the weirdest things to me about, these early Ace Attorney games, and well, actually, spoiler alert, it goes all the way through to the current Ace Attorney games, is that, like, I feel like you should be able to present different chunks of testimony against each other. Like, I feel like, you know, I should be able to take that block of testimony that's like, I heard the thump and looked out the window, and then pit it against the I saw the murder one. Does that make sense? Like, presenting the pieces of the testimony that's happening right now as a piece of evidence. But, I don't know. It's just, it's always been really weird with when you can and can't use them self-contradicting. But anyway, what is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright? Mo said that he heard a sound like a thump of someone getting hit. Kind of do that in the Great Ace Attorney. Oh yeah, I guess they do kind of do that with the jury in the Great Ace Attorney. I totally forgot about that, actually. Yeah, it's like that with an asterisk in the Great Ace Attorney. I'm excited to play those games eventually. Mo said that he heard a sound kind of like a thump of someone getting hit. He did say that. However, Mo just stated the following under oath.
Kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clunked the ringmaster over the head.
If Mo is to be believed when he says he looked out the window upon hearing a sound, There's no way that he could have seen Max clunk anyone. Wait. Yeah, they're porting the Apollo games to all modern consoles, and I'm very happy about it. It's probably why I'm going to, not stream the Apollo trilogy until the actual HD trilogy is out. What I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably going to stream through Trials and Tribulations, then do either the Great Ace Attorney duology or the Investigations duology. Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment? What did he say about 1972? That's a good question, actually. I didn't fully catch it because I was responding to chat. I want to say that it was a reference, like, he speaks in references a lot. He was making a reference to, he was making a reference to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air earlier. Also, hey, James Games, how are you doing? Welcome in. Playing the first Great Ace Attorney, then doing other stuff, then coming back to the second one and the duology is better than going through the duology? Really? Because I've heard the exact opposite, where the Great Ace Attorney 1 is kind of like a prologue to 2, and you run through the 5 cases in 1, and the 5 cases in 1 set up everything that happens in 2. Mr. Curls, how do you respond to Mr. Wright's assessment?
He didn't commit. These clowns promptly escaped from a maximum security clown car.
Mr. Curls, are you reciting the C-Team theme to anger this court?
Oh, it's an A-Team reference.
Okay. Pacing will burn me out. Well, I don't think I would do them back to back. Like, that's the whole reason that I put a game between the first game and Justice for All. Don't worry, Dash. I was also late. I was late by half an hour, so...
No. I'm just stalling for time while I jog my memory.
Great job, Nick.
These types of witnesses always seem to have a selective memory. You just have to peel back the layers of the clown makeup to find the truth.
Well,
Ah, you're back from your jog.
well, it pretty much happened the way I said.
Pretty much.
When I looked out my window that night, the ringmaster was already face down in the snow. Prosecution helped me fill in the gaps of my statement.
Von Karma? Tampering with witnesses again? Morgan Fay got arrested. We're currently defending a stage magician in one of the worst cases in the entire Ace Attorney series. So now you're saying that you did not see the defendant clonk the ringmaster? Oh wait, no, I didn't stream last night. Sorry. I didn't stream last night. I don't stream my Wednesdays. Usually. I streamed a few Wednesdays ago by accident because I like autopiloted into streaming.
Yes. When I looked out my window, the ringmaster had already checked out.
Checked out?
Yep, he was on permanent vacation, as they say.
Mr. Curls.
Your Honor?
You did not witness the actual crime. However, you still say you saw the criminal, correct?
Yes, exactly. The ringmaster was slumped over, and I saw someone's silhouette next to him.
Very well. Then please testify to the silhouette you saw. I expect the truth. And if I even catch a hint of a joke from you, I'll put you in a holding cell until you learn court etiquette, got it?
Got it. It's a bit far away, but that shadow could have only belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. Silk hat, that black cloak, they're all there. His face was silhouetted, but there was no doubt that it was him. His cloak was fluttering in the wind, so I couldn't really see what he was carrying.
It does seem as if the defendant was at the scene of the crime.
It took the clown long enough to get his facts straight. But, whatever. This should finally be good enough, yes?
Von Karma's voice has been a trip. It's been all over this series. It is decisive testimony.
Was Max really at the crime scene that night?
He said he wasn't there. We have to believe in that. All right, Mr. Wright, commence your cross-examination.
It was a bit far away, but the shadow could have only belonged to Max. There's no doubting it, especially since I saw his uppity symbols. Silk hat, that black cloak, they're all there.
So... I want to say that we present the poster because he didn't mention the white roses. Because the white roses are his third symbol. Yep, that was right. Okay, cool. You say you saw all of Max's uppity symbols.
I suppose so. Silk hat and the cloak, right?
Mo. Everyone knows that Maximilian Galactica has 3 uppity symbols.
3 symbols?
Yay, everyone get ready. All together now.
Silk hat, cloak, white roses.
What the?
Who cares if he knew that there were 3 or not? He saw what he saw, and he saw the symbols. He just forgot to mention one. Isn't that right, Mo?
You like pie? I love pie.
Jesus Christ, that was a lot of numbers of pi.
Silence, fool! You are to respond with the whole truth, no fractions.
That's not a fraction, though, Francisca. Order, order. Mo, you didn't see the roses, did you?
To be honest, there weren't any roses on the person I saw.
The crime scene was dark. It's obvious it was too dark to see that kind of detail.
But the witness said he was able to see the silhouette of the criminal's face. Not to mention that the roses are white. There's no way he could have missed them.
And the roses must have fallen off when the defendant assaulted the victim.
If that was the case, then the police would have found them near the crime scene. Mr. Wright, are these white roses truly material to the facts of the case?
Clearly not. He's just toying with the court.
Got her on the ropes now. These seemingly insignificant facts have never failed to lead me to the truth yet. Someone is toying with the court, but it's not me. Your Honor, do you recall Trilo's testimony?
There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. How can you mistake someone with that crazy getup and his nose stuck up so high? How can you mistake someone wearing such a snobby 3-piece getup?
Trilo saw them all. Trilo saw all 3 of Max's symbols. However, this witness claims that there were no white roses on the person he saw. There's absolutely no doubt that this is a contradiction. Now, what am I supposed to think? One is supposed to disregard the pointless, but this...
Judge, forget the roses. Think about his other testimony. The witness stated without a doubt that he saw Maximilian Galactica. Nothing else matters. Let's wrap this case up now.
Your Honor, it may be trivial, but it does cast doubt on the prosecution's case.
Frankly, I have my doubts about this witness. It seems that, unlike wine, the witness has not grown more mature with age.
I'm not mature.
I've come to a conclusion. I'm 99% certain that this witness saw the defendant. However, my remaining 1% of doubt is quite reasonable. Which means that for my peace of mind, I'm going to request a bit more testimony.
What?
There are no contradictions in this next statement. I'm prepared to issue a ruling.
A ruling?
Nick, this is your last chance.
No doubt in my mind, there were no white roses that night. However, all the other symbols were there. I'm equally sure of that. Especially the silk hat. There's no way I could forget seeing the decorations on it. He's wearing it the entire time he was on the scene.
Mr. Wright, but one last chance at this.
Just one chance?
I will not allow even the slightest hint of badgering against this witness. If you are going to prove to me there's no contradiction within Mr. Krill's statement, you better have at least a shred of evidence to back up your accusations.
Only got a single shot at this. I've got to be careful. I understand, Your Honor. One chance is all I'll need. Fun fact, you do actually instant game over here.
What do you think, Nick?
There's no way I'm going to lose after coming this far. There's got to be an answer, and it's probably in the court record. Which is, this is incorrect because we found Max's hat at the crime scene. This wouldn't happen to be the silk hat you saw that night, would it? Yep, that's it. That's the hat he was wearing that night. Sorry about that. No question in your mind. Exactly how would one mistake a thing like that? Thank you for the hydrate. I see.
Is there some sort of problem, Mr. Wright?
Miss Von Karma. Where exactly was the silk hat found?
Must you always ask these questions? It was found at the crime scene. The crime scene? That means...
The silk hat fell off at the crime scene. However, the witness clearly testified to the contrary. The witness stated that he was wearing it the entire time he was on the scene. No, that's not true.
Order, order, order! Mr. Curls,
Yes, Your Honor.
is the meaning of all this? You are old enough to know better than to behave like this in court.
Hey, that's just not right. That's so harsh.
What's not right here is your eyesight and your memory, amongst other things.
What? Why are you being so mean to me? What did I do? Let me guess. You didn't like my jokes or something, right? You didn't have to go and insult my eyesight or my memory. They're both great. Seriously, why? Just because you're sitting above me? Oh, no matter how, I'll always be younger than you.
Enough of these childish outbursts, Mr. Curls. Who do you think you are?
I saw him. I swear I saw him. It was Max. Even if he didn't have his roses, he's still wearing his dumb silk hat. Telling the truth.
He's turned into a bratty little kid.
It's pitiful, isn't it?
He left the scene wearing that dumb silk hat. He was there.
He left the scene.
What's the matter, Nick?
Something I've been mulling over for a while now. Mo?
What do you want?
You just said that he left the scene. Exactly how did the murderer leave the scene of the crime?
What? He went... What do you mean, how did he leave the scene? You can't ask me that.
Mr. Phoenix Wright is badgering the witness, Your Honor.
This witness's testimony is so full of holes, Miss Von Karma's... This witness's testimony is so full of holes. Miss Von Karma's protest is useless. You've got a point. Let's hear what the witness has to say on this matter. Is that all right with you, little guy?
Don't talk to me like I'm a little baby. Besides, what kind of stupid question is how did he leave the crime scene? The answer's obvious. He just turned around and walked away.
That's what I expected you'd say. You're sure that's how it happened?
Say what?
I'm not sure I know exactly where you're going with this. Lawyers nowadays sure do love to harp on the smallest things. Do you have any proof to counter his story as to how the criminal left the scene? It's this, because there's only one set of footprints. Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Actually, I don't remember if it's just in the first game or if it's throughout the entire first trilogy and Apollo Justice, but they do actually use the look at this photograph line multiple times throughout the series. They stopped using it in Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, from what I'm aware. It never shows up in Dual Destinies at the very least. Look at this picture. The problem is the footprints in the snow. Footprints? In this photo, we can clearly see the footprints of the victim. However, where are the criminal's footprints? They aren't there. Mr. Wright, you must stop telling the court to laugh when you show us photographs of dead bodies. However, where are the criminal... Oh, wait, we've already read that. So, Mo, exactly how did the criminal escape the scene? Your Honor, this witness has already proven that his testimony is completely unreliable. I move to strike all of this witness's testimony from the court record. I agree. This clown's testimony is as rickety as the clown car he came to court in.
Wait just a second. You guys can't go... You guys can't ignore just everything I said.
Wow, I read that incorrectly.
Fine, fine. I'll tell you the truth this time.
You, wait a second. I think you've said more than enough for today.
That didn't hurt. I'm sick and tired of listening to you anyway. I'll give you the real deal this time, I swear.
I don't know why, but I get the feeling things are gonna get worse before they get better.
Mr. Lawrence Curls.
Yes?
The testimony you have provided up until now has been false.
It hasn't been false, I haven't lied. It's just
what?
It's just I was a bit confused on the bit about the criminal leaving the scene. Especially since Von Karma and her whip told me not to talk about what I really saw.
Order, order. I will have order. Franziska Von Karma, how could you?
Your Honor, if you had heard the truth from this witness, you would have exactly the same opinion I have.
What opinion is that?
It's not funny.
That's enough out of you. I'm going to listen to what he has to say. Now then, let's hear the truth about what you say you saw, Mr. Curls.
Ha! You're not gonna believe this, but it's all true, I tell you.
Try not to waste our time with your idiotic drivel.
Sorry, give me a sec. Okay.
Now it's time for our next segment, Mo Knows. Everything that I've said up until now has been the truth. When I looked out the window and the ringmaster was down and Max was standing above him. He wasn't wearing his white roses, but he was wearing the silk hat. That's when I saw he... This is the truth now, get ready for it. He flew. He jumped up and flew through the air. Flew right off and disappeared into the darkness. That's why there were no footprints. Flying people don't leave footprints.
I told you it wasn't funny. Do you believe me now?
Well, that was, how do you put this into words?
Maximilian Galactica is a world-class magician. But to leave the scene of a crime by flying, there's no way that actually happened.
You're right.
Why is she right? You believe the other witness. Or witnesses. Why won't you believe me? Especially since it's the best part of the story.
To be honest, this is the first time I've heard of a flying criminal. What do you think about this witness's testimony, Mr. Wright?
Don't mind me, I'm making a safety save. His eyes are playing tricks. It's obvious that the witness's eyes are playing tricks on him. Don't be such a fool. Who in the world do you think I would mistake that jerk for?
Jeez, I didn't say you were lying.
Wow, he looks really serious right now. More serious than he's looked all day.
Suppose I will let you all in on my thinkings regarding this matter. Criminal disappeared into the sky. I'd love to believe that, but I just can't wrap my head around how that could actually happen.
You imbecile!
If you disregard it, a need for proof, Miss Von Karma's case is sound. However, I got the feeling that this case is in dire need of more investigation. Thus, I will conclude today's proceedings at this point. It is an undisputed fact that the criminal left no footprints at the scene. Tomorrow, I want us to find out the reason behind this mystery of mysteries. I believe that's enough for today. Court is adjourned.
Hey, sweeties, what in the world is going on?
That's what I want to know.
They say the criminal flew off into the air and disappeared.
Max, I can't believe I'm asking this. You didn't fly that night, did you?
I know you didn't mean to ask me such a fabulously stupid question. I can't fly whenever I please, it's not that easy. But it looks so effortless for you on stage. It's not that simple. I'm not actually flying on stage. I use invisible wires and have them hoist me through the air. Wow, you just told me the secret to your magic. No, I broke the first rule. The cardinal rule, the only rule.
I'm sorry, Max. We made you break a magician's creed never to reveal the secret of their tricks.
Nick, what do we do now?
All we can do now is hope that we can find the flying criminal in court tomorrow.
Great idea. Let's do our best and catch this sucker.
Honestly, as much as, like, this case has its issues, I do think that it has decent setup to it. And it's got good intrigue.
Nick,
What is it?
I've got a confession to make. I'm terrible at figuring out magic tricks.
Magic tricks?
Yep, magic tricks are by their very definition tricks, right? But I can never figure out the tricks when I see them.
It's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so you can't guess the trick. Okay. Premise plus the story of the case itself is okay, but the character and, like, the last part, especially the characters, though. Here's the thing. I feel like... I'm not gonna get into detail with it now, but I feel like the last bit could be really good with just the smallest amount of tweaking. But the characters, for the most part, yeah, they're kind of bad, but... It's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so you can't guess the trick.
But the trick Pearly showed me was incredible.
Pearls did a magic trick? What kind of trick was it?
Let's see. It looked like she pulled the end of her own thumb off. First she put her right thumb next to her left hand. Then it just separated. She could move it up and down and everything. It was incredible.
Really? Was it kind of like this?
What? Wow! How'd you do that? Nick, you're like a real magician. See, this is why I just can't figure out magic. I'm no good at it. Especially hard tricks like flying away from the scene of murder.
Take all the fun out of magic if you keep trying to figure it out. I'm a lawyer.
Well, your badge is still shining. Barely.
Maybe showing a bit of wear, but I try to take good care of this thing.
You sure do love to show that off, don't you, Nick? Who knows how many times you've shown it to me?
He's right. I whip it out at the drop of a hat.
You hear that? It sounds like two people arguing.
All right, let's do it. Are you ready?
Yes. Wait.
Quit your whining. Let's just give it a shot already. All right, let's go.
Row, row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat. What are you doing? Gently down the stream. Come on, you know that.
I'm trying my best, but Trilo, this just isn't going to work.
Do you enjoy saying dumb things? You're gonna have to be on your own someday. Can't handle something as simple as this. What are you gonna do then?
Hello, Ben. Hello to you too, Trilo.
What are you doing here? Can't you see we're on the secret, we're on a secret crash training course?
I'm sorry.
Secret crash training? Whoa. Yes, Trilo wouldn't give up until I said we'd try out his new idea for a new routine. So, we're trying to sing around for our new ventriloquism act. Or sing in a round.
In a round? You can really do that?
See? Even they're surprised by the idea. I told you.
You're not the only ones. You even surprised me with your idea.
Once we got a grip on the basics, then it's just a matter of practice.
You think so?
Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to give this back to you.
Ah, there it is. Now that I got this ring back, it's time to take one more shot at Regina.
I know that you already testified in court today.
You want to talk about what we saw, right?
Yes.
Well, at first we thought it was the old man. Just looking at his walk and how he acted, right, Ben?
Huh? Oh yeah, that's right.
But then we said hello and didn't even get a reply. Not to mention he was draped in those gaudy symbols.
What would you have thought if he wasn't wearing those symbols?
What do you think, Ben?
What? I would have thought it was the ringmaster. Something just isn't adding up here. I wonder who they really saw.
I was hoping I could ask you about Regina.
I'm completely serious about her, and that's why I'm waiting for her even now.
Really? That's so sweet. But if you really wanted to see Regina, shouldn't you check out the tent?
Ha! You haven't got a clue about things, do you, sweetheart?
Eh?
Waiting like this is a part of being in love.
How so?
If you had a clue, you would know that waiting is such a sweet, wonderful torture. When your body aches for your partner's love, that's one of the best parts.
Yeah, I knew that.
Poor Maya. She's so red she looks like a vine-ripe tomato.
So how's this new routine working out?
Will you two just take a chill pill already? Our routines are secret. We're going to take the ventriloquism world by storm. It'll be a real revolution.
That sounds incredible.
Let me make one thing clear. We're not going to take on the world just because that jerk said we should.
That jerk?
Max Galactica. Former should aim for the world. Who does he think he is?
Trilo, you seem to really be fired up about all this.
He needs to realize that he isn't the only one who can conquer the world stage.
You're right, you're right.
Mark my words, I, Trilo Quist, will win the Grand Prix.
You're the man now, doll.
Row, row, row your boat will be the key to a glorious victory.
Not to rain on your parade, but wouldn't a more mature song be best?
Hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? Don't screw this up. You gotta be a part of this too.
Also, I just realized, can I go to the detention center? I can. Cool. Oh, my sweeties. You mind hurrying up and getting me out of this place? Doing our best, Max. Just hang in there. A little while ago, some people from a local TV station came by. And since I'm a famed magician, they said, let's make you your very own TV special.
Really? What kind of TV special?
Maximilian Galactica, The Great Prison Escape. It would be aired live.
Hey, that sounds like it would be an awesome special.
But if I do the special before I'm acquitted, they'll never let me out of here for real. Well, it would surely be an unnecessary addition to your troubles with the law. That's what I was thinking, but the production staff is already working on the show. If you don't get me out quick, I'll have no choice but to stage a real prison break. You seem awfully calm about that possibility. I'd have no choice. It would be a contractual obligation. That's show business. The night of the crime, you didn't happen to fly off into the sky, did you? Here is how everything went down, sweetie. At the time of the murder, I was sitting in the ringmaster's room. Not to mention, flying off into the sky is not just something I can do at will. I don't care what the stoogey clown says, it wasn't me.
Max, do you mind teaching me the trick behind flying?
You'll have to forgive me, sweetie. The difference between me and cheap imitation magicians is that I keep my mouth shut. I don't teach people tricks, but I will say this much. It's much harder than you think.
I was thinking about this in court today. I've got a favor to ask you.
Anything for you, sweetie.
Be friends with the other performers in the circus.
Fabulous! A great joke! Why would I be friends with a bunch of hacks like them?
But...
I've won the world stage. I won the International Grand Prix.
International Grand Prix?
Performers should always look to perform on the world stage. But the performers at this circus are completely and utterly devoid of ambition. That's something that I simply cannot tolerate.
Ambition, huh? What, Sachi?
Something about what Max just said rings true to my ears.
Oh my sweeties want to hear all about the Grand Prix, do they? To be honest though, I've told this story like 100 times already, so it's a bit boring.
So basically you want the agree statements from Danganronpa 2. Sachi, in Ace Attorney.
Sorry to make you tell it again. You must not have heard me. I'm really sick of telling the story. But what can you do? I'm Maximilian Galactica. I suppose I can tell it again. Voila!
Or, no, that's not voila. Viola. No, that is voila. Wow. Dyslexia.
Here, take a look at this. I just happen to have a picture from the Grand Prix with me. Just look at that fabulous stage.
It's the first stage,
It's the first stage that I ever flew on. I flew right over the audience. The crowd erupted into applause. At that time, I thought to myself that I could die right then and die a happy man. I'll never forget how I felt that night. The emotions, the acclaim.
Wow.
By the way,
it's hard to read French vowel soup. Yeah, it definitely can be.
I think everyone who's a performer should get to experience that feeling. I just wish I could explain that to the other people in the circus.
That's incredible, Max. I want a trophy too. Hey Nick, how about you buy me a trophy?
It's not how you earn a trophy, Maya.
My sweeties, you can have this picture of my triumph. Just make sure you show it to all the other members of the circus. Look and learn. That's what you should tell them.
Learn how to get thrown in jail?
I'm normally fabulous, but in this picture, I'm the king of the world. I even got a fabulous trophy and a super fabulous bust.
That's really cool. I wouldn't mind seeing your trophy someday.
If you want to see one of my awards, you should just go to the cafeteria.
The cafeteria? You mean the one inside the circus tent?
Of course. The trophy isn't there, but the bust that I won is.
It's in the cafeteria. We were just there yesterday. Nick, did you see a bust anywhere inside the cafeteria?
What about this? Fabulous. You'd like me to sign this for you?
See, it always sketches me out when a character only has has less than 4 talking points, because usually that means that you've missed something. Or less than 2, less than 4 talking points.
Would you mind taking a look at this?
It's...
I guess we won't need you to look at this after all.
Honestly, like, I'm legitimately surprised that they put, like, a full, like, There's no stockings on that bunny outfit. Full bare-legged bunny outfit. Sorry, I got something stuck in the back of my throat. Oh, it's you two. Look like you just got hit by a truck. Shouldn't someone get some rest? I'm taking a rest right now, pal. Been listening to some crazy clown's life story. Miss Von Karma told me to come down here and to do this for her. Yeah, I figured as much. Let me tell you something, pal. Listening to that old clown sucks all your energy. Every time he's done talking, he looks at you like you should be doing something. I think he's waiting for you to laugh at his jokes. I know that, pal. You have any idea how much your face hurts if you fake laughing that much?
Francisca really set you up bad this time, didn't she? If you ask me, she should be listening to Mo herself.
No way, pal. You're not gonna get me to backbite a woman with a whip. No way.
Why are you defending her?
Prosecutor Von Karma's always got her eyes on us. Every time you definitely don't want her to show up, poof, there she is. Don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up. Looks like she's wound him up pretty tight. She's directly above us as we speak.
Huh? How's that possible?
According to the clown, the culprit jumped from here and disappeared into the sky. That's what happened. It means the killer passed right by this window, pal.
Oh, I see. Who lives in that room, behind the window up there?
The acrobat's got his room up on the 3rd floor, it seems. Pretty soon, Miss Von Karma's gonna start her investigation up there. So don't get any ideas of going up to the acrobat's room. Got it, pal?
Francisca Von Karma.
When she's done with her investigation, I think I'll go up there and check it out. Mo's not here.
If he was here, you would have been able to tell even before you stepped into his room. I'm sure you would have heard him laughing anyway.
What do you think he's laughing at when he's all by himself?
I always thought he was thinking up new jokes.
Must really love his work. I don't think we can go to the acrobat's room. I don't think I had an option. Yeah, there's no option.
Huh? Where's Regina?
I don't know. But if she's with that tiger, I don't want to find out. Let's hurry up and get out of here.
Nick, you're kind of a chicken, aren't you?
No. I'm just, allergic to wild tigers.
Max and the Ringmaster had their talk in this room.
Could have been while the Ringmaster, or when the Ringmaster put on Max's costume and went outside.
Why'd he do that anyway? Was it really that cold or something?
Tailcoat, we've already read this. Calm down, Maya, you can't just go rummaging through people's coats. Those make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. We can't get that yet. We have to be able to get that. Ah, right. Welcome to the wonderful, the fabulous, the cafeteria. Yikes, he's in an awfully good mood. All right, you know what time it is? Riddle time. Why does everyone cry when they eat Mexican pizza? Come on, you can answer this, it's easy. Is cafeteria Mexican pizza is possibly a weapon of bowel destruction? Wrong. Try again. Okay, what do you think, girly?
I got it.
Okay, what's your answer?
Because they're in the cafeteria.
Exactly. It's an incredibly sad place, that cafe.
I did it.
What's going on? He's being too nice.
Today's been a really crazy day, hasn't it?
I hate it here, true, same.
You're telling me I didn't think it was gonna be so tough.
Tough?
Yeah, it was a tough crowd. That's what you call a crowd that refuses to laugh. For instance, it was such a tough crowd this morning that I had to smash watermelons.
Also, I just realized I am peaking my mic. I need to move my mic slightly further back.
Told them all a great story and even greater jokes, but no one busted out laughing.
Still peaking my mic. That voice just, I guess, is louder than the rest of my voices.
You even used the famed no shoes, no shirt, no service joke.
Exactly. How can you not laugh at stunning comedy like that?
Are you 100% sure about your testimony today?
Saw what I saw, I swear. That creep just
Flew through the air.
wasn't exactly flying per se, it was more like floating. The silhouette of his face made me positive it was Max.
Let's see a psyche lock. Psych lock. Shit. He must be telling the truth.
Ah, not this picture. Showed it to you guys too.
Huh? You've seen it as well.
Well, you know what they say about Maximilian Galactica. Really gets around.
That's not even a joke, that's just a statement. Unless it's soaring straight over my head, but I'm 90% sure that that's not even a joke, that's just a statement.
Oh yeah. You didn't just show me the picture, or... Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
He showed me his bust too. Like, let me tell you, that thing is enormous. It's in the picture, I think. He'd make us worship it every day. He made us bow to his greatness.
It's got a big bust? Quotes taken out of context. Mind hearing more about Max's bust? Not that I'm into that sort of thing. Yeah, you've already got a husband, Phoenix.
Max's bust should be on that small table over there.
There's nothing over there.
Really? Oh yeah. When was it? I'd say about 5 days ago all of a sudden. Bust disappeared.
It disappeared.
You wanna see it? Then there's a photo on the bulletin board over there. Max just had to put the picture up.
Hey, this thing is really cool. Nick, I want someone to make a bust of me.
Sure, as long as I'm not paying for it.
Aww.
Gosh, I don't know why my... Oh wait, can you pop the trays out of OBS? You can. Holy shit. This changes everything. I can set this off to the side so that I can make sure I'm not peeking my mic.
I didn't realize that that was a function. That's so helpful.
Aw.
Is there anything else that's changed about this place? Nope, nothing's changed that I can see.
Wonder if he's actually thinking about this or if he's setting up a bad joke.
Nope, drawing a blank here.
Quiet Mo is a good Mo in my book.
I guess there really aren't any other things that have changed, huh?
Well, there's this one teensy tiny thing that does seem different.
Tell us.
Well, on the morning of the crime, over on that bulletin board, this piece of paper was posted front and center.
Piece of paper?
It's torn, so I don't know what it said, but I can see its title.
Yikes! It says, "To the murderer."
Murderer?
Yep, that's what it says. Well, the rest of it's been ripped off. I don't know who posted it.
When did you find this?
Morning before the murder.
Before the murder?
Yes, the ringmaster was killed the night after this paper was discovered.
Who in the world posted this thing? They also titled it in a serial killer lettering.
Nick, I think we'd better follow up on this important lead.
Nope, still can't grab it. Maybe we need to present this to Max.
Do you know anything about this note?
Morning of the murder, it was posted on the wall in the cafeteria. I do know all about that note. When I read it, my heart certainly skipped a beat. That's not your voice, Max. That's... I don't even know whose voice that is.
Your heart skipped a beat.
While I was enjoying my morning tea, the ringmaster and company entered the room. And company. I guess it wasn't really a company. It was just the ringmaster and my sweetie pie. When the ringmaster read the note, he turned an incredible bright red. All of a sudden, he tore it off the wall and shoved it into the pocket of his tailcoat.
Really? Out of curiosity, what in the world was written on that thing?
Let's see.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't want to steal the fun from my sweeties. Go and find out on your own. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. You might also want to ask my sweetie pie princess. And there's the trigger to grab the rest of the note.
Hey, do you see that? There's a scrap of paper shoved into the pocket of the tailcoat.
You know, I got a feeling I know what that is.
I bet that's the other half of the note that Mo gave us. Let's hurry up and check this thing out, Nick. I knew it! It fits perfectly with the other piece.
What does it say? What does it say?
To
the murderer. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight in the Lodging House Plaza.
Tonight at 10 p.m.
That's when the murder took place.
Now we need to find out who called out the ringmaster.
Nope, not that.
Hey, Detective Gumshoe. I'm sure you did a good job as usual.
Well, I'm done with the investigation of the acrobat. Finally. With Miss Von Karma.
Nick, what's that? That beeping sound?
It's Miss Von Karma.
Huh?
Every time I hear that sound, she's usually not very far behind. Some sort of pager or something? If you don't mind, pal, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Quick. See you, pal.
I didn't know that Gumshoe could run that fast. So much for being a flatfoot.
Never seen a grown man so afraid of a girl still in her teens.
Well, let's go inside. It's freezing out here. The wind is biting his— Ow! As biting his lashes from a whip.
Von Karma. She really did appear.
It was a real battle today in court, wasn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
You have to jump out and scare us like that? What can I do for you?
Tomorrow will be the day my dream finally comes true.
You mean the story of my defeat at your hands making national news?
National news. You possess such a small sense of scale. The global news, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Your miserable plight will be known internationally.
I think she might be overestimating the importance of a win just by just a smidge. Miss Von Karma, it appears you got your hands on something big, huh?
Huh. I'm amazed you picked up on that much.
Anyone could. You couldn't hide that look of victory with 10 paper bags on your head.
I've got conclusive evidence and a conclusive witness. Need any more hints?
Conclusive witness. You must mean the acrobat, right?
I'm putting the summons for him to be called as a witness as we speak. It's the final nail in your coffin, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I get it already. You want to beat and destroy me. Can't worry about her. I've got to try and find out more information myself.
Why do you keep giving Nick the evil eye? It doesn't matter if you prove the defendant guilty tomorrow. Nothing will be able to bring your dad back. My dad. You must mean the esteemed Manfred von Karma. Of course, your dad. I know you miss him. Enough out of you. One more word and you'll get a mouthful of whip. Now, when did I ever bring up my papa's name in this or any other conversation?
Then what's this revenge thing you're talking about?
You won't understand, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I have to see him again, one more time.
Him?
I'm sure you know to whom I refer. Miles Edgeworth. What? Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Miles Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth. Why would you even bring him up?
You haven't forgotten, have you? You do know who it was that trained the gifted prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Manfred von Karma. Exactly right. It was my papa.
They have Edgeworth and Francisca have very cute interactions in the anime, by the way. Like there's some prequel stuff in the anime where they have absolutely adorable interactions.
That means that Edgeworth was right again. Miles was like a little brother to me. Huh? Little brother? But Edgeworth and Nick are the same age.
Edgeworth. Man who inspired me to become an attorney. I fought against him in a few cases. But a little after that case was over, he vanished.
It's your fault he's gone. Huh? It's the truth, isn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
I...
Nick, what does she mean?
Yeah. One of my personal favorite ones is Edgeworth, like, one of my personal favorite bloopers from the anime is there's a clip of the of Edgeworth from like one of his early trials in like this really fancy, like very reminiscent of Manfred von Karma's suit. And he raises an objection or something, and the judge just goes, "Wow, your suit is loud." It's a very good clip, and I highly encourage you to watch the anime bloopers, because the anime bloopers are hilarious.
Nick, what does she mean?
Edgeworth was never quite the same after that case. And then with the case after that one, fun fact, they actually had to change some of the dialogue in Justice for All to fit Edgeworth being the prosecutor in Rise from the Ashes in. Never set foot into court again. And then one day, he just vanished. All he left was a simple note at the prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
That was 1 year ago. It was a few months after you left to go back home. Yeah.
Mr. Edgeworth, he's dead? I don't believe it. He's still alive. I'm sure of it. Somewhere in the world, he's still alive. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. Of course he did.
I think that's the stolen turnabout, because the lost turnabout is the first case in Justice for All.
You ruined his reputation as a prosecutor. You effectively killed the prosecutor in him. Just like your victory muddied the honorable name Von Karma. I'm going to find him. And then, I'm going to teach him his rightful place with my own 2 hands. Nick, about Mr. Edgeworth.
Maya, I already told you this once. Don't make me do it again. Don't bring up his name in front of me again, okay?
Nick?
Miss Von Karma?
What?
I don't know if you're God's gift to prosecutors or not, but I've had about enough of you. Him too.
What in the world happened? This dog is all bark and no bite. He's already been defeated. Regardless, I have nothing to inform you two of today. Tomorrow will be the greatest courtroom battle this country has ever seen. Nick?
Let's go. We need to talk with the performer on the 3rd floor.
I'm sorry I brought it up, Nick.
You must be Phoenix Wright. Yes. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ken Dingling. But here at the circus, everyone just calls me Acro.
Mr. Acro.
How do you know my name? The detective told me. He said you'd definitely show up here.
Acro, you're a member of this circus as well.
That's right. I mainly performed on the tightrope, or the flying trapeze. But nowadays, all I perform is in my wheelchair. Yeah, don't tempt the auto mod, because the auto mod might bite you. Acro, why did you join the circus? When I was a kid, my parents failed miserably at business. And one night, they decided to run away from it all, without me. The only person who was willing to take my parents' place was the ringmaster. The ringmaster took such incredible care of me. He was truly a lifesaver.
It seems like the ringmaster was truly a saint.
He was. That's why I decided to do something very important. I decided that I would devote my entire life to finding a way to repay him. And now, look how someone repaid him for all the good in his life. It's such a shame. Sometimes I think that he was almost too kind. Perhaps he was too kind to his performers. Perhaps he was too kind to his daughter. Wonder if he spoiled Regina?
Regina's so cute. She's truly a princess.
Really a princess? Are you sure that's a good thing? Do I detect a hint of a grudge against Regina?
I'm sorry to ask, but why are you in a wheelchair?
The nerves of my legs were badly damaged. You can't walk now? I can't even stand now. And since I live on the third floor, I can't even leave this building by myself.
That's awful.
The accident happened during an acrobatics session, right? Cyclops? Doesn't seem like Acro's injuries were acrobatic in nature. What's on your mind, Mr. Wright? Well, exactly when were you injured? It's been almost 6 months since I was hurt. I injured my legs during practice. 6 months ago? What in the world went on at the circus then? I stopped by yesterday and noticed that you weren't in your room. I was at the hospital all day yesterday. Ah, you went there for rehabilitation? What about the murder? Of course I knew about it. I spoke with the police before they allowed me to go to the hospital. Before I got the call from the prosecutor, I was convinced that it was all a dream.
Huh?
I just couldn't believe it when I saw what I saw. What you saw? Geez, that sounded really ominous. What did you see, Acro? That night, I was in bed sleeping when I heard a huge sound coming from below my window.
I see. That's the scene, the scene of the crime was right below your window.
So when I looked out the window,
What did you see?
he was flying straight up into the air. He? Maximilian Galactica.
What?
That wasn't quite your voice, Maya. That's what I thought he'd say. You're absolutely positive it was Max you saw flying? I'm absolutely sure. There's no doubt in my mind.
Nick.
That's weird. You only have 3 talking points, right? Gosh, even when you know sort of how the stuff is supposed to play out, the investigation segments in the original trilogy kind of drag. Especially in this case. Got a bad feeling about this.
Nick!
Wonderful. Today's special must be Filet-O Phoenix.
Stay, heal! Oh, Maya, Nick, it's you guys. I'm sorry, I guess I made a mistake.
Mistake?
Yeah, a little one. I was thinking of teaching whatever primate was out there a lesson. But I was expecting more of a monkey than a human. A monkey? It's a pity about what happened to the ringmaster. Dad? Everyone loved him, didn't they? He must have been quite a man. He was! I love my dad so much!
I hate to say it, but she really doesn't seem all that broken up about her father.
That's why I feel so lonely. Now that I won't be able to see him for a while. For a while? Yeah. When Leon died, I talked with my dad, and he told me that when someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. A star? That means that my dad is looking down on me from the sky. That's why I love the night so much. I can see everyone who's gone.
Someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. It's kinda sweet. But I bet you there's no way that Maya believes that.
What do you mean there's no way I believe that? Do you think that one day I'll be a star too? Of course. Do you really think so?
Yeah, you will. Think.
I got a feeling that everyone's doing great up there in the sky.
Wonder if everything's alright with Regina.
Just to go back and clear something up, why do you want to teach Money a lesson? Because he's a meanie. He's got something that means a lot to me.
Oh gosh, Regina's voice really does just kill my throat. I definitely shouldn't have set Regina's voice so high.
Something that means a lot to you. It must be something shiny, right? Actually, it's a stage costume. It's got lots of spangles, and it's really beautiful. You should see it. We should. When the costume gets hit by the spotlight, it dazzles. Hey, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you saw that monkey, you'd get my costume back for me, wouldn't you? It's really important to me.
I'll get it for you. But thou must.
Leave it all up to us.
There's no turning down that request.
Yeah, you're really gonna do it?
Regina, have you ever seen this before?
I know what this is. Really? Well, it was in my pocket for a while.
It was in your pocket. This piece of paper was in your pocket.
I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time.
Breakfast time?
Yeah, I always take Acro's breakfast in the morning. That's when I also take out the trash in his room. Then I'd go to the cafeteria and eat my own breakfast. That's when you realized the piece of paper was in your pocket? Yep, but since I'm not a murderer, I just figured it belonged to in someone else's pocket.
And then what?
I wondered if the person who lost it was in trouble, so... You didn't put it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria, did you? I did. I stuck it up there. How'd you know?
So it was Regina that put it up there. When did this happen?
The morning of the murder, I think.
That explains a lot.
I wonder who wrote this. That's Pepper, isn't it? From the cafeteria?
Huh? It's from the cafeteria?
It's not. I remember seeing it there.
So this was the cafeteria's Pepper.
You know, I'm not a big fan of Pepper.
What about this? What can you tell me? I'm not really good at figuring out hard things. We've already done that.
Leo's not here.
What's that? I hear something.
Stop it, Nick. You're scaring me. Nick, it's money.
That monkey's holding something.
That's it. That's the thing that means a lot to Regina, remember?
Alright, time to take on this monkey, attorney style. Stay, money, stay. Hey, it's working.
That sounded like he was confused at the end of that ooh.
Stay, ah!
Yikes!
Ah! Knew that acting like Regina would do the trick.
Nick, you...
Swiped it while money was distracted.
Wow, you're really on the ball today, Nick. Let me see it.
Huh? You can see it fine from where you are.
You know what I mean. I really want to try on Regina's costume.
Maybe then they'll take you in at the circus and I can get some peace and quiet. What's the matter now?
It doesn't fit me at all.
Oh well, guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. Not to mention, it doesn't look like something any girl I know would actually wear. Because it's not for Maya, it's for the tiger, most likely. That's my theory anyway. I don't actually know. Because I've blocked large parts of this case out of my memory.
Here you go, Regina. Yay, thank you! You really got it back for me!
Don't mention it.
I love you, Mr. Attorney!
It's nothing. No wonder guys melt to mush in front of this girl.
Hey, Regina. That costume is yours, right? I tried it on, but it didn't fit me. Huh? This costume. This isn't mine. It was Leon's.
Leon's?
You know, the lion she told us about.
Oh, the one that someone killed. Leon. He was killed, wasn't he?
That's right. My dad killed him. Why? Well, Leon did something really bad during practice.
During practice?
Leon was sitting down, and he opened his mouth, you know? Gah. Uh-huh. Usually when he did that, I'd put my head into his mouth. Uh-huh. Wait, you put your head into a lion's mouth? I sure did. People in the crowd always loved seeing me do that. They'd always start screaming.
Sure they were screaming because they loved seeing you do that? Anyways. What was the bad thing?
Oh, yeah. Leon bit someone during that practice. Regina, everything was alright though, right? No, it wasn't alright. That was the problem. My dad was incredibly angry.
That's when Leon...
Yeah, that's when he became a star in the night sky.
Poor thing. I want to say... Where do I even go now? I present Leon? Nope. Ben is just here for no reason.
They must have taken Max in for questioning again.
Really isn't anything that we need to ask him right now anyway.
You're right, I guess. Alright, let's go then.
I think the game's pointing me toward, cracking open those psyche locks. Or psych locks. Shit. See, I go back and forth on the pronunciation. I have to ask you, how were you injured? I'm sorry, I thought we talked about this? It was an accident that happened during practice. An accident during practice? Yes, unfortunately, acrobats are prone to all sorts of injuries. He's lying. If that were the real case, he'd have no reason to keep it a secret. Acro, are you really telling me that a practice accident was the cause of your injury? It's not even a question. How am I... What? Leon. 6 months ago, you were attacked by the lion. That's when you were injured. I know I'm on the right track. I just need to keep going. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If the lion was coming at me, I'd be running for the exit. Okay, maybe attacked is not the best word to be using. So let me rephrase that as battled the lion. You seem to enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? Because you had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. I don't have access to that information yet. Don't think I have enough evidence yet. I just present Leon to you.
What do you think of this?
Sorry, but in my present physical condition, I don't really know much about what goes on outside of this room.
Oh, we're sorry.
Don't worry about it. No need to apologize. Really?
There's no denying it. Max is cool. I want to try flying someday with Max.
Already flown off into her own little world.
Nick, I want to try flying too.
Okay. I'll think about it.
Ah, it's Acro. Is he in his room today?
You head into sleep, Dash? Yes, he is. We just came back from meeting with him.
I hope his legs get better soon. Acro's so incredible, especially on the trapeze. The trapeze is that enormous swing hanging from the top of the tent, right?
That's not your voice, Maya.
Yep, that's it. I really want to see him up there again. Acro the Acrobat.
That's strange. Acro doesn't seem to have many nice things to say about Regina. Regina seems like to like Acro just fine. Have a good night, Dash. From the cafeteria.
Something smells fantastic. So we know it can't be Mo. Wait, I know what it is. It's burgers.
Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to the Bistro de Cirque, aka the cafeteria.
It smells so good in here. And those burgers look great.
She's drooling like she's some sort of crazed burger monster.
My
My burgers are the best. Juicy meat, toasted buns, special sauce. They're all absolutely irresistible to anyone with a hankering for a burger. One bite'll send you into hamburger heaven.
I bet. I can tell just by the smell.
Whoa. I'm getting hungry too. These burgers must have some kind of special power.
Now that the ringmaster's gone, what are you going to do?
That's all I thought about the past 2 days. Everyone loved Russell. You've heard Acro's story, haven't you?
Like how he was adopted when he was younger?
He's calmed down a bit now, but he was livid when he heard about the murder. Acro was so upset that he couldn't go on, or said he couldn't go on.
He was that upset?
Yes, he was. Anyway, I gave it some thought. Maybe I should give up on trying to be a half-baked clown. I've been thinking of trying on the ringmaster's shoes.
What? Really?
Max would still be an issue, though.
Max?
Maybe a bit mean and hard to work with, but it's hard to argue his importance. It's probably the reason the circus is still around. A lot of what he says is right.
Mo.
All that's left is to see if everyone can get over the tragedy. You know?
The tragedy? You know? What is he talking about? Get over what tragedy, Mo?
Huh? Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Nothing at all.
You must mean the tragic death of the ringmaster, right?
Yes, yes, that's it. You're right, girly. Dang, dang, dang. Correctamundo.
You mean ding? Mo, I mean no disrespect here, but are you lying to us?
Eh? No, not at all. What makes you think that?
Just the way you said, if everyone can get over the tragedy seems a bit strange. Sounded like you were talking about something from a long time ago. Mo, I'm right, aren't I? Now we're getting closer to the truth.
About 6 months ago. It's just a little accident. Give me a break. Us old men have accidents. Wear big pants for a reason.
6 months ago, eh? Yes, the clown did just make a piss joke. Mo, please tell us what happened 6 months ago. What in the world went on at the circus?
Okay, okay, there's no need to look so scary when you ask me. Hey, look over there. Some juicy burgers. Let's eat instead.
Unfortunately, I'm more of a grilled chicken sandwich man myself. Actually, I've kind of got an idea of what happened back then. Mo, you said something about an accident. This wouldn't happen to be the cause of that accident, would it? I heard a little bit about it from Regina. Leon made a mistake during a practice, right?
How did you? I told them so many times. Shouldn't be doing such dangerous acts.
Putting her head inside Leon's mouth, right?
Yeah, but Regina believed in Leon. She believed so strongly that the ringmaster went along. You never could say no to her.
Out of curiosity, who is bitten? Come on, Mo, don't climb up on me now. Who did Leon bite on the head?
Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything.
Promised?
He's involved in this, too.
He's involved, huh? Mo must be talking about... Mo, is this the person that you promised you wouldn't say anything? It must have been Acro, right?
How do you know?
Don't worry about that, Mo. Getting to the bottom of this accident may help solve what happened to the ringmaster.
No way.
I need to know the truth about what happened to Russell.
I'm sorry, Acro. It's just like you said, you know? The accident.
Did someone die?
No, but it probably would have been better if he had. What? How would that have been better? He's still alive. When he got bit, he suffered massive brain damage. He'll never recover from the coma that he's in.
Coma?
All he has now is to lie in his bed at the hospital. That's all he's ever gonna be able to do.
I see.
How is he related to Acro? He's his brother. Huh? The person who got bit was Acro's brother.
Brother?
They're an acrobat team, the brothers, Acro and Bat. Cute nicknames, I thought. Anyway, I thought they were an incredible team, cut down together in their prime.
Who is Acro's younger brother?
John Dingling, but everyone always called him Bat. He fell in love with Regina. Trying to win her love was his downfall. Everyone seems to fall in love with Regina. 6 months ago, while we were practicing, all of a sudden Bat blurts out, "Let me perform with Leon."
Why'd he do that?
I don't know. That's what caused the accident. I'll never forget that moment. It was so strange. Leon had the weirdest look on his face. He was smiling.
You mean Leon?
Yes, Leon. When he bit down, he was smiling. Some sick grin.
No way! That's impossible!
Smirking lion. Flying murderer? Why does it seem that it's always Mo who catches all these incredible events?
Nick, can lions smile?
Never told the police about the incident. Circus would have been shut down if we had. Next day, the ringmaster took Leon out and shot him with a rifle.
So that's what really happened.
Well, you guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? Or I had to tell you. But all this truthfulness has put me in the mood for a burger. Here, you two have some pepper. Here he goes again, acting like his normal crazy self.
Achoo!
Nice, what a wonderful sneeze.
Huh? You think so?
Sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel. That's basic clownsmanship. Girlie, I know you gotta understand that.
Nick, I think I'd make a good clown.
Other than Regina, I've never seen a cuter sneezer.
Does Regina sneeze with pepper too?
She does. Bat would always tease her with pepper.
But, Bat...
From my point of view, those two always look so perfect together.
They look perfect together, huh?
Sorry, but I don't know anything about that.
I see.
After all, I'm just a clown.
Seed Mo's a clown, but I get the feeling he's not your average clown. Okay. And now I think we have the stuff to crack open those Cyclocks. Ah, Mr. Wright, back again, I see.
Well, he did say I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else?
Back because Acro's hiding why his legs were injured. He was hurt in the accident 6 months ago. It would seem that he knows that we know. Well, seems you've got things you want to talk about, so fire away. Honestly, I'm really glad that they didn't just try to upscale the Cyclock graphic. I'm glad that it looks like it's a brand new, like, original
It's not original, I guess. It's based off of the original Cyclock graphic, but the original Cyclock graphic is very muddy because it's, you know, a GBA game. I'm glad that they didn't just upscale it. They actually, like, took the time to make it properly ornate. I have to ask you, how are you injured? Yep, we've already done this. Now I'm on the right track. I just have to keep going. No, wait. Attacked by a lion? You had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. Bad. It was a shame what happened to your brother 6 months ago. You tried to save him, didn't you? And that's how you got that terrible injury. Mo, he must have told you. Yes, we learned about Bat from Mo. But he didn't mention anything about you in regards to the accident. I suppose it was just a slip of the tongue on his part. That's how I figured out. Slip of the tongue. Anyway, they're an incredible team, cut down together in their prime. Cut down together. That's where he slipped, and that's how I figured it out. You two ended up at the center of the same accident together, like always. I see. But an accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault. Still haven't broken Acro's last Cyclock. This must be one incredibly deep-seated secret. It wasn't anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Acro, I know you're still hiding something from me. Maybe someone you don't seem to like much is the reason you're being evasive. Regina. You always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like she's cruel. Well done, Mr. Attorney. You've got quite the set of eagle eyes. Nah, that's Apollo. You know me. Wow. I mashed up attack me and you know, and it just came up with you know me. You know me, Bat. You know who I am. Look me in the eyes. You know, our tiger tried to attack me. Regent tried to attack you. Twice. He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she spurred on Leon to attack Bat, are you? Leon was never taught a command to attack people. Regina isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Regina had no reason to want to hurt my little brother. Regina and Bat were such good friends back then. But you still hate Regina. I've got proof of it. What? What are you talking about? Ugh, maybe I overdid it again. But if I can hand something over to Acro, maybe it'll... Here's proof that you had it out for Regina all along. This... Where did you get it? Regina posted it on the bulletin board on the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket.
I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time. I always take Acro's breakfast in the morning.
You wrote this, and then you put it in her pocket. That's right, isn't it? That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright. My legs were injured by Leon. 6 months ago, my younger brother, Bat, had a dare with Regina.
A dare?
An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date.
That's insane! Didn't you know how dangerous that is?
We all thought he was being stupid too. But that lion was very old to begin with. And age brought with it countless experience in doing that very trick. Fortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing. And that's when the accident happened. He just wanted to take her out to the movies.
Poor Bat.
When Leon chomped down, I jumped toward him.
And Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up.
What about Bat?
He's still in a coma. Went to the hospital yesterday to visit him.
I see.
I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going. Bat and Regina. They're such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this.
What is it?
This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him.
Gross, it's covered in blood.
This scarf. It was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, it looked like he was smiling. Leon, obviously.
Oh,
But he bit down on Bat's head. The expression on Leon's face looked like a grin.
Nick,
I know. Mo said the same thing.
what do you think all this means?
I'm 90% sure that this is Francisca. It's either Francisca or Gumshoe.
I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind.
It's Von Karma?
I've already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. But the scarf is evidence in the trial. That's for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro.
Preparations?
I've served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro, we'll talk more at the prosecutor's office. Acro, a witness? Come, Acro, let's go to the office.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what do we do, Nick? How are we gonna handle tomorrow?
Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out.
Look at you all full of confidence. You must have found something you can use.
This is all beginning to come together now.
Good morning, Max.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties.
You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today.
I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it.
Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina.
How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today.
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Ugh, I'm losing the upper part of my voice currently.
Mo said that.
So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end?
It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't...
Yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is.
Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience.
Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick?
Top of the morning to ya. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning?
That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk.
Oh my. Thanks.
So how are you today, Wright?
Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm gonna face off against the real culprit.
You mean Acro?
Huh? You think he did it?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare.
All I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is. I'm used to it already. Just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses.
What are you gonna do then, Nick?
Guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro into the truth.
You're right, but it's gonna be tough.
Anyway, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. And she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Regina watches?
Yes. That's why I brought her here to court today.
What's that supposed to mean?
She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, you may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime.
Order, order. I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detectives stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders.
Poor Gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope.
Name and occupation.
Ken Dingling. Everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Very Big Circus.
Where were you the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night.
If you look at the map, you'll see the witness's room is near the crime scene.
My room's on the 3rd floor. Crime scene is below my window.
The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you care to tell us what you witnessed?
Okay. It's just after 10 p.m., and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then, a few moments later, I saw someone flying, right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there's very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness.
A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony? In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened. Very well, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Did Acro threaten Mo into validating his testimony?
It's just after 10 p.m. I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. And a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. You see any of the other symbols? Clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around the body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy with his latest bit of testimony. There's a contradiction. There's a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given.
If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
He's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction?
You claim to have seen the exact same thing that Mo saw that night. You stand by that?
What do you mean?
The silk hat.
What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window.
Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night.
That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me.
That's a shame, because you would have seen, or you would have noticed that the silk hat, or you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene.
That's the ringmaster's hat, right?
Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats?
No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, that you've been fibbing on the stand.
Order, order.
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick?
Well, I opened my big mouth, and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself.
On this occasion?
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor.
I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and mind. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary.
He's also staying rather calm and collected.
Mr. Dingling, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone, take a good look at me. Can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things.
See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous.
That's right, way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man.
Phoenix is a poop head.
Wow.
see that, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? If you're trying to draw up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
Of course he didn't.
Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice.
Not this time, Von Karma.
What?
You're not gonna sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Order, order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick.
Now I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. Can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix, Wright? If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness's account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, where exactly was Mr. Dingling?
In his room. He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room?
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can only be one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster.
What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory. That's it? Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there's no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You got a point.
It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he?
But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly.
Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright?
What is it?
I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume.
How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here...
Safety save. She's right. Can't mess up here. I gotta give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room, no doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
I cannot present evidence right now.
I think we'll finally be graced with an explanation.
Don't push it, Von Karma.
What?
You aren't gonna suck me in this time. I'm smart enough to know when I don't have the cards to play in my hand sucks right now.
What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
He means that everything he's set up until now has all been nonsense. It's true, right? If you can't establish proof of your murder theory, then it's nonsense. He's trying to fool us by playing some misdirection game.
It's like this isn't gonna pass muster.
Nick, you gotta show them some evidence.
Easier said than done. Gonna present some evidence. What did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime against me? Oh, I do actually have evidence for it. What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust. It's quite a large bust, and it's because it's life-sized. It is also very, very heavy.
Heavy?
Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. See? This is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. That's a good line. Order, order. So, you're saying that the bust fell onto the Ringmaster? Rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit.
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible.
Well, Acro's an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro's at a loss for words.
Should be. Knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, 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 Acro. You can't run away from...
I'd watch what I say if I was you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get a proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say? On karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There's absolutely no need for such testimony.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
Defense's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems. However, let us all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. Suppose I could have lifted something the size of the bust. A strong upper body, and I'm working as from working as an acrobat. And only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head.
Be careful, Nick, if you save time. Nick, why did time just freeze? Yeah.
A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
Can't let her get to me. I've got to focus. Suppose I could have lifted something at the size of that bust. I don't remember if I can actually press on this or not. Have you ever lifted up the bust before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? Can't let money outdo me on this. Money? The crazy monkey has lifted Max's bust before? Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. I'm sorry if Phoenix's and Acro's voices are very similar, but... So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, given up on training. Don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or tightrope. Don't say. But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick.
Oh, whoa, whoa, how did the discussion turn to me all of a sudden? Suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet. So you couldn't have thrown that bust out of the window. Is that a motherfucking Yogi Bear reference? I have no idea. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. Currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. It's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Smarter than the average bear catchphrase. Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there's no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you've got a point.
Hey, Nick.
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
Does make sense. Only I could prove somehow. That Acro knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. I just realized something really weird. Acro's collarbones go above, like, the line for his collarbone goes over his leotard. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think? If all you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. All I had to do was drop it. You're right, I could have done that. However, there's no way I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head. So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright? Acro's strong enough to lift up the bust.
The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head.
Wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster.
That's the ticket, Nick. Show them what you got.
Be careful. You have to find something that fits perfectly with the case.
I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. Maybe we overlooked something.
Incorrect. You used the box to line up the shot. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job at hinting. Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you two should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. Same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. the same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here?
Who?
When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear.
You mean?
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim.
No.
Yes, the ringmaster was in Max's outfit. Order, order. This is unbelievable. Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. And there's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope and then all he had to do was lower it down.
Ow. Allow me to whip some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he tried to lift the box.
That's why the box was so specially made.
Specially made?
Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The box has a remarkable weight.
Wait.
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift up with their lower body, with their body, wouldn't you say? It's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place.
Fool!
Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you have to say, what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place the wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I never could have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. And what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself.
That means...
You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room?
You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria.
Yep, definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. Gotta get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all. Alright, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room? monkey.
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust?
Of course, he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
Aye, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they're made out of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro? Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bust back to your room.
If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be in the market for a new roommate. Order, order. I said order. Miss Von Karma. Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon.
Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident?
It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought it to use one of them. Anyways, I think we have more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer.
Moron.
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular. I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow!
Flamboozled.
Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney.
Fraud?
You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix, Wright?
And what is that?
You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime.
Ugh.
There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
It's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now.
Won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around.
When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw?
I want you to know this right here. If I'm not mistaken on which question this is one of the most bullshit explanations for something. He saw Max's Ow!
I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
How do you even pronounce that second bit? It's au contraire mon frere? Frere? Mon frere? I don't know, I don't speak French. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette, but he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being that he saw.
How is that possible?
Frere. It's rubbish when they throw French phrases in there. It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust.
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands.
Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust?
Doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? The question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
You caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
Fool! Him?
You're saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry.
That's what I'm saying.
The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust.
Place the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
What would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all this?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together.
You're so fucking lost. Don't worry. Okay. The logic of this case is very, the logic in this case, for a lot of it, is decent. It starts falling apart right around here. And don't worry, Sachi, this took me so long in my casual playthrough.
There's really only one picture I can paint anyway. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room, and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. This is when the bullshit happens, everybody. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim.
You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this isn't true. It can't be.
It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw his cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look.
I agree, this is a fucking circus, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly.
The witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already been snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of the window. He tried to lift the box because somebody left the threatening note. Okay, we get a little bit more into this, but he got the threatening note he found on the bulletin board was part of it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that's how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who is able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could have only been you.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
Sure has. But he has to come to the end of his rope now, or he's come to the end of his rope now.
So,
what now?
you've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But, do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip.
This is more fucked than any Danganronpa case in existence. Incorrect. I can say one word that will prove your entire argument incorrect, and that word is seesaw. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence.
Just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. There's still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
Contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get us out of this jam.
It's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case. It's the hat, right? Because there's two hats. Headphones died, that's a shame. Aw, that's unfortunate. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony.
The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other.
But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. Seesaw is still slightly less bullshit than this. There's a lot of issues with the seesaw.
You fool! Do you ever shut up?
Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick?
Of course. I can explain all of it.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order, order. It's quite the shocking state of affairs.
Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? Is there yeah. You did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that?
Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude toward the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there's absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive. Seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I'll listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
An ad break? No.
Fine. Honestly, I should really start running ads during my, like, while I'm putting out notifications, just so that it turns off the pre-roll ads for a bit. Because pre-roll ads are annoying as all hell. But yeah, turnabout Big Top. So, like, this whole leap of logic here, like, it has a lot of issues. And I mean a lot of issues. But at the same time, like, I feel like if it was tweaked just a tiny bit, it could work, kind of. Like, rather than having the cloak, you know, levitate off of the corpse and hook itself onto the thing. So many issues, it makes me want to stomp on loose floorboards. Like, I feel like you could kind of fix it if you, like, essentially make it a cloak that goes all the way around and meets in the middle and has, like, a magnetic clasp on it to hold it in place, and have it stick to the statue with, like, a magnetic clasp after it, like, you know, knocked him out and it just, you know, or killed him, I guess. Like, I don't know, it just... I remember the first time I played this game being like, how in the ever-loving fuck am I supposed to figure this out? Because, like, not only does it defy logic. It defies the laws of physics. And it hurts. Do I want to try to finish this tonight, or do I want to go to sleep? I think I'll run for a little bit longer, but I can't guarantee that I'll finish this trial tonight. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Gibbous, am I that hated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did. Psst, psst. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why...
Hey, pal. You gonna ignore me after I went through all the trouble to bring you some evidence?
Detective Gumshoe.
Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway. Now, detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little?
We got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, detective? Well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned, what is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know, Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. No, there's no more scientific investigation. Or, well, no more of the forensic sciences until Apollo Justice. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me, I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing's ever truly decided until the very end. That's it, and that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part?
I'm not sure. It's all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? From me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. Sorry, I've been drinking all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk. From me? Order's now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Dairy's worth of milk, what does that mean? Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor? Please, proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in. Became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. It was my sole purpose in life. Such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such high esteem.
You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination. You understand, finally? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the Ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. No need to question. There's no need to cross-examine this witness. What's that? Why was the Ringmaster murdered? There's no need to delve into that bit of testimony when I know the answer already. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know. Can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the Ringmaster dead? Of course I can. Now that I've come this far, there's no way I could answer no, I can't.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Very well. Then please enlighten the court. Let's see some evidence that proves Acro's motive for killing the Ringmaster. Let me just go over this one more time. This is why Acro killed the Ringmaster? That is correct.
I don't think the defense would mind confirming something for me. What exactly are we supposed to learn from this piece of evidence?
What are you supposed to learn?
Looks like you just won the award for biggest failure in court.
Ouch.
Ouch, biggest failure in court. That stings.
In recognition of your honor, let me bestow upon you my special prize. Now what will you do, Mr. Wright? Yep. Really gonna have to think about this. I actually don't remember how I'm supposed to go about presenting this argument. Present something else. This time I won't leave any doubt in your mind. Make the defense remember that this court is not a target practice for its theories. Very well then, please enlighten the court. Let's see some evidence that proves Acro's motive for killing the Ringmaster. Yeah, I think it's... Yeah, it might actually just be the he has no motive angle.
Nick?
Yeah, didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the Ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the Ringmaster at all. How?
Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolishly foolish fools.
Wow, I kind of went off there.
Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Russell Berry, Ringmaster.
You want to jump to the end of things? Then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro. You didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night.
What did you just say?
I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the Ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with.
What?
Order, order. Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice if you must. Bailiff, whack his pee-pee. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do in my court? Ow!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Regina Berry?
This young girl is the Ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, "You're wrong." That's it.
That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow!
The only thing that's allowed to interrupt me is death itself. And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. Demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl. All right, Mr. Wright.
At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence.
This better not be a bluff. You're not going to. Ow!
You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Those two are finishing each other's sentences now.
Must be the special bond between Whipper and Whipped. My patience is wearing thin, Mr. Wright. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill.
What? It does. Fuck off. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone out to the plaza at 10 p.m. Also, I'm gonna save right now, just so that I don't end up saving myself into a corner. Oh, whoops.
They're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note.
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster.
You mean, it wasn't for the...
That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order, order, order. Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours.
It's the truth, Your Honor. This isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board.
That's when her father, the ringmaster saw the note.
That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that much force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
Got it, I've got it. Acro thought it was Regina down on the plaza.
And that's when he let the bust fly.
Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience?
She is. Unfortunately, it's only gonna get harsher from here.
I hope Regina can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Foolishly foolish fool. Oh, fucking.
I hate auto skip. I just wanted to fill the text box game. Foolishly foolish fool with foolish ideas, something.
You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place.
Yes? What about that line?
Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring Regina Berry is a murderer.
You just don't get it, do you?
What? What did you just say?
The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in that note?
The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago. Now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moron.
Wait, are you sure that this relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start with what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I think so.
Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? You know, I'd certainly like to know what it is.
If I can answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. Or I can't answer, if I can't answer that question. Conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... What? This is it? Well, kinda figured that I'd try to get rid of evidence I didn't need anymore. Okay. Do those sorts of things at home. That totally should have been it, by the way. I don't care what the game says. Oh god, I hate Turnabout Big Top so fucking much. There's a reason that this is widely considered to be one of, if not the worst case in the entire series. I know all about it. I'm just gonna save real quick here. Conclusive evidence from the incident 6 months ago. Turnabout Big Top. Conclusive evidence about the thing 6 months ago. True. That's bullshit.
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix, Wright?
It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. I will be back in a moment.
Sorry about that. Recall the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming that Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim?
Regina Berry's intended victim? What's this? That is Acro's younger brother.
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead?
Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Gina, she did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming of new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
Lion?
Regina, Miss Regina Berry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position has ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident?
Suppose it was truly an accident.
It's essential that a man knows when to give up, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
It's impossible to prove Miss Berry's involvement in a murder attempt, isn't it?
Ha! Instigating a lion to attack. Who ever heard of something like that? And to think that the defense claimed this was conclusive evidence.
Ugh. Small bottle of pepper. A lion. What's their connection? Ah!
What's the matter, Nick?
I figured it out. Wow. He was right in front of my nose the entire time. Your Honor, wait. What is it? The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being.
She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being. But Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who's the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina. There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. 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 Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident. And she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? Excuse me, Mr. Wright. Done a good job of fingering a criminal. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? Still seems like the judge doesn't get it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? Lion was smiling.
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looks like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However...
Lions sneeze. Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object, for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is... that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened?
Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Objection for objection's sake totally runs in the blood. I mean, clearly Edgeworth learned it as well, because Edgeworth is just like, I object. I find that objectionable in the first game. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina.
You foolish idiot!
Almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro, you can't mean, witness.
Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? Same problem it's always been. Evidence. I dropped Max's bust on top of the ringmaster. Where's the evidence that proves that claim? You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof to be more precise.
Murder weapon. Bust that the defense claims was used. Safety save. Because I hate this case a lot. That were to be found in Acro's room. And if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be.
The bust.
Nick, we gotta do something.
This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. The defense requests to search the room of the witness, Ken Dingling. What is it now?
It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now you must know the meaning of Von Karma total justice.
You mean?
Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright? Bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story.
Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. Looks Looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that's really relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Ah! Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now?
Where is the bust right now?
You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do.
There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings an end to the cross-examination of this witness.
Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare and to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue.
Huh?
What?
Need time to do the what? Or to do what?
Why are you...
Wow.
I can't believe that happened. I completely ran my voice hoarse there.
Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What? Are you asking me?
The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait. You can't be serious.
You're Phoenix Wright. You'll keep saying bullshit till it makes sense. Acrobats always have their lives on the lines, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well. The defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward.
The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust to now?
It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. It's really funny. If you say the judge's bench, he gets absolutely pissed at you. Acro. I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy. You have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. Just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. You sure that this is less bullshit than the seesaw? Yeah. There's a lot of logical inconsistencies with the seesaw. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair.
Don't worry, Sachi, the game gets better. Not this case, though. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap?
Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played.
You fool! How could you?
You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, 2 of them.
2 of them?
Miss Franziska von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were 2 pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know? The bust. Obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try to hide the bust. The only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing.
Huh? Definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. No, I know I sure couldn't.
I can't believe it. Me? Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that.
Seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro?
Yes, Your Honor?
Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime.
Acro.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. You know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. She would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina.
How dreadful.
You're saying that you're a victim in all this as well?
No. That's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first, I thought I'd kill myself. I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again?
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty.
Tried to kill a 16-year-old, you don't get to cry and act all sappy. But at the same time, you know, even if inadvertently that 16-year-old did put his brother in a coma. So, you know, he has motive. I'm not gonna necessarily, say like, oh, I agree with that or whatever, because I don't. But at the same time, like, it's slightly more reasonable than you're giving it credit for, Sachi. At least reasonable as far as motives for murder go. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this.
Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh?
It's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to.
Many congrats, but only at max 1,000,000 of them.
Thank you.
What's the vibe in this room?
We're just thinking about Acro.
No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll never be happy then you'll be like this forever and never be happy.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault.
I can't hit that top note without my voice cracking. Yeah, I like that he didn't try to claim that he was the victim in all of this. At the very least, he didn't pull the "I'm the victim" in all of this sort of deal. He fully admits, he's like, no, I fucked up here. What I did was bad. I'm just a murderer. Sweetie pie.
Bat and Acro, they're never coming back. Now, and everyone's gonna split up. Regina. Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Regina?
Acro said something right at the end.
Just couldn't up and leave yet.
Does that mean that Acro... Is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
Don't think so. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina.
Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that?
Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge.
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
Bat. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes, and then he can meet Acro again.
That's so sweet of you, Regina.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind.
Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. And so, whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now?
That's the big question. Oh, whoops. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone's sticking together. Staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision.
What is it?
I've decided that I'll take over as the new ringmaster. Turn the circus into the best circus the world has ever seen.
The best circus the world has ever seen?
Don't laugh.
It's quite the goal.
Yay, I can't wait.
Then I guess that changes things.
Huh?
There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means the circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen.
Max.
Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy?
I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think I brought you to the court today? We gotta work together to make the Very Big Circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the Berry Big Circus without Regina Berry.
Max. Nick.
Seems like everything's going to turn out all right here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen.
We'll save you the most fabulous seats.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order special whoopee cushion seats.
Yeah, I like the conclusion of this case. I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid. Really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. I mean, Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, finally. Turnabout Big Top is the absolute biggest stain on this game's reputation. Wow, that took an extra almost hour to finish. I'm glad that I did that now. Okay, give me just a sec. Okay. Who should we raid? I bent my microphone arm slightly too much. There we go. So, we're going... next time, we're going from the worst case in the series to arguably one of the best. Unironically. Farewell My Turnabout is easily one of the best cases in the entire franchise. And I'm very excited to get to it. I really hope that I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow with no voice because my voice was starting to crack near the end of this. But, DG's still streaming. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I will be back with more of this, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Let's see what else. Exclamation point Discord if you want to, join the Discord. Exclamation point socials if you want to follow my, social medias, my Twitter, my YouTube. Other than that, I guess, thank you again. Have a good one, and take care.